Hi everyone, we are delighted to
Hi.
welcome you to this Generated By webinar. I'm Laurent, the CEO and co-founder of Generated By, and will be hosting this webinar with Guillaume, CTO and co-founder of Generated By. So to give you a few best practices before we get started, you have on your right a chat section, a question section to ask your question or vote for the ones that interest you, and a poll section where I'll come and ask you some questions. All questions will be answered in a Q&A session at the end of Guillaume's demonstration, and you also have access to the replay at the end of the webinar. And to thank you for taking part of this webinar, this is a little gift, a 50% discount coupon valid on all our plans until Monday 2 p.m. I'll send you now in the chat, and Guillaume, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Laurent, and hi everyone. Very nice to be there today with you. I would like to thank everyone to take the time to see this webinar. It's our first English webinar, so we will try to do our best. And if you have any question at the end of this demonstration, please ask. We are here to help. So let me share my screen, and just to mention, the special gift is will work on a recurring subscription, so you will be able to use it for every month subscription, for monthly subscription in a recurring basis. So let's start. Everyone can see my screen, and if not, don't hesitate to write it on the chat. Sorry, and Laurent will say me if I need to change something.
Yes.
So today we will present you a use case starting from an idea to creating what we call the prompt-based application. It's a kind of specialized agent that will do the task for us by trying to do it with the best quality. I'd like to introduce Generated By to highlight the key feature and the different tools we've built for you. So Generated By is a kind of middle layer. So it's a tool that aims to make usage of well-known generative AI more easy as possible for digital workers and for entrepreneurs and solopreneurs. So we do that by allowing you to use several generative AI like ChatGPT, almost for all the text parts, but soon you will be able to use a different LLM like Claude, Bard, and our goal is to use on the go and to allow you to use on the go the best LLM for need. So that's why we try to be generic and offer different kind of LLM for the text part, but also for the image part. We also built some tools to help you start your journey with generative AI without any skills required in prompt engineering at the beginning. And we also allow you at the end to share your prompt-based application. To don't need to show your prompt to make people use your prompt actually. And prompt-based application are very useful also for people which want, for example, to generate subscription with their prompt-based application. But we're gonna see that together. We're gonna start with a use case to that every company that will have at a point. It's regarding the HR. So the goal of today is to create a prompt that will, and then prompt-based application, and use it to help us grow our HR workflow. So the situation is that we will have to hire someone, and we don't have any HR guy in our company, so we will have to do that as co-founder. And as co-founders, we have a lot of tasks to do on a daily basis, and that's where generative AI could be really helpful. What I think and what I try to do with this tool is to allow people, and especially digital workers and entrepreneurs, to have the ability to do tasks that are not their experts in their expert zone, and to give this task to an agent, a prompt-based application specialized to give them back sometimes to use on the parts that they were experts. For example, with Lawrence, I'm the technical guy, so most of the time I'm building generative AI, but we also have to work on marketing. We also have to work on business part, to write some newsletters, things like that. And this can be time consuming. So that's the point where generative AI can be helpful. It can help you to create some prompt-based application for every task where you're not an expert, and then give you some time to go in the task where you are an expert and spend most of your time of this kind of task. By this way, you will be able to do more, you will be able to maximize your expertise, and you will be able to be even more an expert that by spending more time on this task actually. So let's jump in. Up. So like I said, we want to create a prompt that will allow us to help us in our HR flow. Like you know, sorry, when you want to hire someone, you can have hundreds and even sometimes thousands of resume, and this can be really time consuming. The goal is not to completely automatize this task, but it's more to try to find a way to identify the top 20% of the resume you will get, to spend more time by analyzing this resume and meeting potential new employee. So for me, it's very important because generative AI can be really useful, but you have to identify the part where human have to spend sometimes. And in this example, human will have to spend sometimes with the 20% of people which will match with the job offer, actually. So we're gonna start by using one of the three ways you have to start by creating a prompt. So maybe before introducing the perfect prompt, I will show you the three. I will present, sorry, the three main tools we got. So the first one is a prompt editor, where we can create prompts. We try to find a way to make them as generic as possible with variable usage. To have the ability to use the prompt every time you need to do this task. So as an example, so you can create a prompt for any task that you have to do several times a week or several times a day, which are not in your expertise zone. You can do that for your expertise zone, but yeah, for me, the goal is maybe more to automate other parts. Then when you have your prompt, you will be able to use it with the chat, which is kind of the same thing as OpenAI chat, with some feature, some additional features. But the goal is to use your prompt in a context of with the chat, with some conversations that you will be able to answer to the suggestion, sorry, of the LLM. And then the application part, when you want to make this prompt accessible outside for the outside world. It can be for your colleague, it can be for your for anyone, like we already did with our library, and it can be to monetize it also. So let's start with the prompt. So we could start with a blank prompt, but I would like to show you one of the two other way to create a prompt. So we've built the perfect prompt, which will allow you to try to create the best prompt based on a need explained in a simple sentence, like I will show you. And this tool is very interesting, especially when you didn't have spent some time on the prompt engineering part. The second one, we will not use it during this webinar, but it can be really helpful in some situation. It's the exact opposite of the perfect prompt. So you don't want to create a prompt for need. You will start for a final output. For example, a nice article you read about a news in your activity, and you would like to do the same thing for you, but without copy pasting the article. So you will be able to give it the final output, so the article, and we will try to reverse it. So create the prompts that will allow you to get the same kind of article. So let's go with the perfect prompt. So as we said, our today use case is about creating prompts that will allow us to add a notation for a resume based on the job offer. So for that, we will just explain to the perfect prompt what we want to do. And I already wrote this sentence, actually. We're going to read it together. So I'd like to have a resume analyzed in relation to a job offer with a score ranking from 0 to 10. So let's enter this. And Generated by will try to create the best prompt. So to explain what we try to do with this tool is to put ChatGPT in our example in a context and ask it to answer like an expert. So you are an expert in human resources and career counseling. You have been analyzed, resume and matching them with job offer for 10 years, and your work was greatly increased the rate of successful job placements. So the goal is to say, hey, now you're an expert in that domain. You have done this for the last 20 years, and you have some very nice output and advice about what you did during these 10 years. And by this way, ChatGPT will kind of format his mind to do that in the best way. And we also try to use variables to make these prompts generic, to have the ability to use it every time we will need to hire someone, for example. And this is really important because you can share it and you can also monetize it if it's as generic as we want it to be. So when the prompt was generated, you have two options. You can save it and optimize it, so it will open the prompt editor. That's what we're going to do together. But we also, if the prompt is okay for you and you want to use it as it, you will be able to click on Save and Test to open the chat directly, the chat UI, and you will be able to use it on the go. So for the example, we will try to refine it to optimize it for our need. Even it can be used as it's more for the example. So there is a small bugs as this is a notice. This is an example, so it should not be right inside the prompt. So the prompt editor here you have an editor like Google Drive, like Notion, and you can use variable, and variable will be displayed here, and you will be able to add some values, some default values, and you will be able to choose the type of variable. So most of the time it's going to be some text, but it can also be another prompt. It's by this way you will be able to at the end of the day create chain prompting. So use the output on a first prompt to as an input for the second one, and yeah, kind of change them. You can also try to choose to use files, and that's what we're going to use for the resume actually. And you can also choose some other option, which are premium option from now. You can make a summary of any article from the internet, and you can also use a YouTube transcript feature, which gonna take a YouTube URL and will try to transcript or resume it. You will have the choice to do that. So for our example, we're gonna simply select the resume content as a file, and we will choose the job offer as a text area. We could also use, I'm going to show you for the example, but we could also use plugins to configure the job offer content as an URL to allow people to just copy paste the URL. Plugin is also a premium features, and to keep this demonstration simple, we will not use it and copy paste it for the example. So when you finished the configuration, you can choose, for example, the default model. So for this example, I suggest to use GPT-4. It's really better than GPT 3.5. And you can also choose the temperature and things like that. You can decide to make it public, and you can just decide to publish it for you if you want. So let's save it. Yeah, I'm going to add a variable for the example. So please write the output in, sorry, output in, and I'm going to use language as variable. So by this way, we could offer our prompt-based application to people from anywhere in the world. And this is really great. This is also a very great point about LLM. It's that you can speak in every language, and even in the same conversation. And it doesn't matter about that, and he will be able to understand everything. That's very, very, very nice. So yeah, I've saved. Everything looks okay. Variable I configured. So I'm going to click on test, and it's going to open the chat bubble. Are you okay with the screening? So we are entering now in the second tool we would like to highlight. It's the chat bubble. So when you choose a prompt, you will have this pop-up which will appear, and you will be able to set up variable. You can also predefine them and save them in the prompt, and you can also use some, for example, some suggested values which will shuffle them each time we refresh the chat UI. And this is more to try to use this prompt in different situations to be sure that is kind of generic before publishing it, for example. So let's say English. I'm gonna use my resume. So what you can upload here any type of file like PDF, like docx, like .txt, like Markdown, and PowerPoint. And if you need some other type of file, you can ask us on LinkedIn, by mail, or even directly on the platform with Intercom. So we're going to copy paste the job offer. So I've prepared two job offers. One on which I will match, and another one on which I will didn't really match. And yeah, we'll try to find if the prompt is actually good enough. So let's jump in. So here, oh, sorry, I already had a conversation. I'm gonna start a new chat. So here I copy paste. I will just make a short presentation of this interface. So on your left, you will have all your conversation history with the ability to create some folders and to yeah, copy your conversation to order them like you want. You have on your right all the prompt you created or you bookmarked, and you will be able to switch from one prompt to another on the go like that just by clicking on a button. And yeah, you will be able to use it. So it is like if you had a tool that will allow you to do all these tasks with an agent that is configured in a way to be as precise as possible to do this task. And this could be really, really helpful on a daily basis. Yeah, our goal is to make people gain 30 to 50% of productivity within less than a week of use generated by. We know that we have a lot of work to do to make it more easier to understand, to make it even better than it is actually. But yeah, we really want to do that, and that's why every day since the last 5 months we wake up and work on this project. And for me, this tool with a lot of other AI tools make me gain on the technical part 5 times my productivity. It could be incredible, really incredible with the right workflow and things like that. So let's go back to the prompt. So I will just copy paste here. So I choose GPT-4. I'm currently working on the, like I said, on the agnostic on every LLM. So the first one that we will add is a GPT 32K. So with a very big context box, and then we will add the Bard and Claude and Llama and every other LLM. But what I want to do before that is to allow to work on an algorithm that will be able to identify the right LLM for the need, as you will not have to choose and have to know each specificity of each LLM, but just say what you want to do, and then we try to find the best LLM for you. So let's jump in. To highlight the other option, you can specify the system prompt. You can also specify the temperature. So the temperature will make ChatGPT more or less deterministic. So if you want to do some things like create legal documents, you will have to use it and make it as to make it go from 0 to 0. And if you want him to be more creative, you will have to put in more to 1. So like brainstorming, things like that. We also had, because it was asked by our client, and it's a very good thing, I think, the management of the token size. So when you want to ChatGPT to write an answer, you will be able to choose if you want him to write a short answer, or a very long. Very long, for example, for an article, for a blog article, for document, legal documents, things like that, and short for social media posts and things like that. But it will depend of you need, but you can do that anytime you need it. So let's go. So from us, I think 1,050, 500 is okay. So let's go. So here I click on enter, and I will have the answer. Up. Sorry, I missed my copy paste. So I will do it again because it was missing the job offer. So let's do it again. Up. So here I prepare the content, but you can also copy paste if you want. It's not a big deal. Okay, so here we are in the good context. So this is actually for a TypeScript job offer. Generative AI is built with TypeScript, and I use this language since many years from now. So I match with this job offer. So he will say that it's okay. He will at the end give me a notation, but he will also give me some very nice advice about what I can do to make my resume match more the job offer. And this could be used in two different ways for the HR, for the entrepreneur that want to hire someone, but also for the guy which wants to join the company. He will then use this prompt-based application to try to improve his resume based on the job offer. So that could be very nice, and I can also pass another job offer which do not match with my profile, and we're gonna try this in an application if you agree. So yeah, I didn't show you the plugin, but plugin, to make a really short presentation. Here it is really the same as OpenAI. So you can add any plugin that is available on OpenAI, and we made a short selection of the best plugins, aka the plugin we used almost on every prompt. So I think there is two big, maybe three, but the document chatting part, so ask your PDF, chat with PDF. There is the browser part, so with browser app, access link, browser pilot. The best one is definitely browser apps, as is able to get 12 up to 12 URL, so you can analyze different pages. All the other one are only for one pages. Some domain ideas, some DeFi and Web3 plugins, some SEO plugins. some images plugin, but we also have a tool to generate images. And one I use a lot is Twitter data and social graph, because you will be able to scrap a profile on social media and have information. For example, you can say, hey, let's check this Twitter account and try to create some tweets by following the way the guy writes his tweet. Or you can also say, hey, here's my profile. I want to create some new tweets, but please do not do things I've already done the last 10 days, for example. So this is only accessible from premium users, but yeah, you can use them easily. So let's go back to the application part. So now that we are pretty happy of our prompt, we will create an application. We already created it, but I will show you exactly how we did that. So let's start by clicking on Create Application. So here you will be able to choose any prompt you get you created, or any prompts which you bookmarked. So here we already done different prompts for the same purpose, but we will use this one, for example. You will be able to choose a slug. So yeah, if you have the first one to create an application, you will be able to choose the best slug for your application. You can choose the answer size. Like we said, you can bump it to 150,000 tokens. And you can choose the application type. So from now, we have two ways to use application, with a form, which will be a classic page with a form and the result displayed. And you will be able to use the API if you are a technical guy and want to build something on top of your prompt-based application. So when you finalize this step, you will be able to verify everything and then click on Create Application. Any account, even free account, will be able to create one application, and you can yeah, play with that and see if you find it useful. So here is the application we prepared. We tried to make it international. So the English, it's the second part. We choose to use extra long answer size because as it is an analyze, we want it to be as precise as possible. But it's for the example. I will activate the API part to show you that, but I will show you that after the demonstration of the basic form application. So here you have your form. You can choose which type of field you will have. You can force email, URL, phone, and anything you need. You can also specify a list of possible answer. You can add a placeholder, a description, and you can make it required or not. You can also define a default value if you want it to be pre-populated. And yeah, you can choose the order. You can preview it if you want. So our application will look like that. And yeah, that's it for this part. You have also the possibility to check all the submission. So I just saw this kind of bug as is not very UX friendly. But at the end of the day, this part will allow you to show the completion of the application and try to refine your prompt. As people will definitely use your application in a way you maybe didn't didn't think about like that at the very beginning. So it will allow you to make it even more generic by try to refine it. And the next step about this part is to obviously create a fine tuning. So when you will have at least 15, 20 answer, you will be able to say, hey, I want to create a specific version of my LLM to be fully trained of the past completion. And you will have the ability to say, yes, this one is a good one, this one is not a good one, and here's why it's not very good. And then it will be even more powerful. You can also choose the look of the layout. So you have three options from now. It's about how the prompt-based application will be displayed to users, and soon, really soon, I'm currently almost finishing that. You will be able to have a different type of form. So from now, it's a form with results, form then results, and form then result on the right when you click on submit. Here you will have the inline form like a Google search. Here you will have the document chat. So we'll have a document on your left and the chat box on your right. And here you will have the playground form app. So it's like two big pieces of content. One when you write text, and the other way where you will have the output. You can also override the submit button text. So score resume, for example. And you are also able to share it from our website or integrate it with an iframe. The iframe is built in a way that you could just integrate it in the pages. So we will not display the logo. We will not display anything that you could use it and white brand. Sorry. And then the two other parts are about the API. So the API, you can generate a key to use it, and then you can also generate a webhook, which allow you to say, hey, here's my website, and each time you get a completion, send me a notification with the data of the completion. You can set up Zapier endpoint to run some automated task if you want. You can do anything you want with API and webhook, and we wrote a documentation on how to use this. So when we are ready, yes.
Guillaume, we have a question for Justin. Will there be a detailed step-by-step tutorial on how to build a basic application within your API?
Not no. So let me show you. Actually, we write some documentation of the main endpoint of the API with a notification part, webhook, limitation. But we can definitely do better. What I'd like to do is to create some YouTube video and record myself building with this API. We are currently working on our first Microsoft application, and this will. So today you can check the documentation. You have some example on how to use it, but you will definitely have more content by October about how to really use it. And I will make a short intro for technical guys. Sorry about that. It will be very quick, but it's because I'm currently working on an open source Microsoft starter that will do exactly that. It's a landing page and a backend where the subscription part, where you can just say, hey, this is the ID of my application, and I will display it inside the prompt-based application, and you will be able to monetize it and do anything you want. You can even connect more than one prompt-based application. But it's currently a kind of work in progress, and you will have a lot of information about that during October.
Thank you, Guillaume.
You're welcome. And if you have any technical question, please don't hesitate. Ask me. I will be very happy to help you to use our API. So let's go back to the application, and now we can test it. So here is the default view. Sorry, I'm gonna keep the dark mode. So with the description, with the number of views, the number of completion, the number of bookmark, I'm working on allowing people to share their social media account. So let's test it. So we're going to test it not with a TypeScript offer, but with a legal offer. So I never done any legal in my life. I'm very bad at that. So it should have a very bad notation. So let's go. Let's try it. And okay, everything's good. So here you can choose. So I will play to be the higher and not the higher. The guy who is going to be higher. And I will choose English. And let's go. So here we will have the exact same result as when we were in the chat UI, but yeah, it's kind of displayed differently, and we'll up. So there is a small bug about the CV, the resume. So I will have to check that because he looks to doesn't have. Sorry, I will change. Just change the appearance because it's light by default. Up. So let me do it again just to test it. And if it doesn't work, I know what I will have to do this afternoon. Up. Okay, so there is definitely a kind of bug, but I will find it. And but now we're okay, so we can check the result. Sorry. And yeah, what it will be interesting. It's about the scoring. He didn't do the scoring actually. He just make an analysis. But okay, so I will check it back. I will check it again to be sure that there is no problem with the prompt. So we used analysis. Okay, CV matching. So maybe the prompt is not the good one. Maybe I made a mistake. Let me check. Do we talk about notation? Yes, we talk about notation. Okay, so it's kind of strange. Maybe ChatGPT decided to not do what we want him to do. That can be fixed by set up the temperature, maybe more to 0, like that. And maybe this could help us to have a more deterministic result, as he looks to write a different output that we want it to write. But yeah, the goal of this demonstration was to show you that how you can go from an idea, a need, to a working application that you can share with your collaborators, with your colleague, with anyone which want to use that with no code, with 0 line of code done. Yeah, in 10 minutes or so. We also have some kind of tool to help you to start. We also have some application that you can use, like the one we just used together. Another one we are actually using for generated by to help us write our newsletter. So this one is more big because it's very important, for example, to give some example of past newsletter to write like we can write if we do it by ourselves. Twitter thread, I use it a lot to create my thread on Twitter. Another one for HR part, generate cover letter, and so on. So yeah, you can check this one. I use it a lot. Also, it's to find the 10 ideas for a job. So you can say, hey, I'm a so manager is not a really good example, but I made some contability, some accounting. I'm a developer. And yeah, he will try to find some examples that where LLM can be helpful for you. So I don't know if there is any question. I'm gonna temporarily stop my screen.
Thank you,
Sharing.
Guillaume. Yeah,
Welcome.
there are some questions. So the first one from Juan: can I generate long chain prompt template with generated by?
So we're using actually a long chain under the hood, but from now you will not have any other options that what we show you. But I'm trying to find a way to connect them, especially to LangChain Hub, because it could be very nice to create a connection to generate between Generating by and LangChain Hub to allow people, for example, to make prompts accessible with on LangChain Hub. There is a lot of option offered by LangChain, and we can do a lot of things. So if you have any needs, specific needs regarding to LangChain, you can write me a message, and I can try to do my best to help you on that on generative AI, on even with their SDK, if we can't integrate that in generative AI.
Thank you. Another one from Joan. Are you planning to provide prompts for other models than the OpenAI ones, Llama 2, for instance?
Definitely. I'm currently migrating our technical library to use a tool that will allow us to be connected to every LLM directly. So the first production test will be done on GPT-32K tokens, but then we will definitely add all LLM available from this tool. So Llama 2, Bard, and Claude, and all those LLM. My goal is definitely it's really to be agnostic and to allow people to use the right LLM or all the LLMs they want to use for a need.
What's the cost to using the application in the free tier?
So let me share my screen. So in the free tier, you can create one application, and people will be able to query your application 50 times a month. So if you use all your tokens. So if you, let's say you create an application with the GPT 3.5, I think you can have up to 50 application query without throwing the token limitation. So at the 51 will not have the ability to have the completion, and you will have to go to a bigger plan with 500 and with 1,000 for the master plan. And if you have some specific need, we have also an enterprise solution. We currently work with companies that have 100 need a day, so they use the company plan.
Okay.
I hope that my English was not too bad, and that it was clear. And if it's not, I will try to do better next time. I'm currently working a lot on my English, but I know I can do definitely better.
Thank you very much. Another question. Right now, I think you are absorbing the cost for GPT-4.
It was the case, yes, before early September. But since we launched our subscription, now people in the subscription plan, you have a part that is used for OpenAI, and our goal, yes, it's to prove that our tool is helpful and people are at least okay to pay for what it's need to be paid to be to works. So yeah, with a subscription with a real cost, we cover all the cost of API, and we also took a margin. But with the actual offer with 50%, it's not really the case. But as I said, it's very important to be sure that people are ready to use the tool and pay for it, because it's great value for them.
So are you considering having users use their own API key?
Definitely, I didn't show it, but this gonna be the next feature. From now, you can add your APK only when you used all our token. But let me share my screen. So this option is almost done. There is in settings you have the currently the option. You cannot use it for the moment, but if you click, it works. And here you will be able to enter your APK. You will be able to select to say, hey, I want to use it by default. And you will be able to even configure Azure instance if you use it. And we are working to make it completely free to use for people that use their own API key. Accepted for the image part, but for everything that can be used with ChatGPT, it will be free for people that use their API key.
The goal is not to have margin on a token, on a API OpenAI cost
Yeah.
or an LLM cost. The goal is to bill our service, but not to make margin on LLM cost. So there is a question of Zabir. The next steps of
Chef.
our roadmap, and if we are going to finance all by ourselves, or if we are going to make some fundraising.
So on a technical part, the next step are to work on the generic LLM generic part. I also plan to, in a short term, work on the plugin part to make it really more understandable. And then we have a big challenge on the data part. We would like to allow you to create some data sets. Let's say, hey, this is my website. Sorry, scrap all my pages and create a data set for that, because I want to use that in some prompt. So the biggest technical feature for the next 3 months are about that. And we have also a collaborative roadmap. We will send you the link if you're interested, where you can vote and suggest things to help us identify which will be our next priority. And regarding to the financial part, we were in contact with funds and people which were interesting about helping us to grow more fast. We decided with Lawrence to validate the market before. So the step we are currently working on. It's very important to be sure that people are ready to pay because we build something that creates values. And if it's the case, and from now it's pretty good, and we're pretty happy, and we built a community. We have some paid users, and when we had validate that, we will be able to try to scale. We were thinking that if we scale too early, it could be bad for us in so many way that we decided to do that with these steps.
Legion, in that case, you can lower the subscription pricing to an extent. The limitation, you can use your API key to effectively don't be limited by generated by limitation. And you can take, for example, a pro plan, but without the limitation for OpenAI token. It's the principle. But the cost, the price, the actual pricing, it's more referring to the service we provide.
But what we want to do at the end of the day is to allow people to have a tool like generated by paying at least the same things as if they were taking ChatGPT plus, let's say Midjourney, for example. So the package is about $30 a month. So that's a subscription price that we would like to go with a lot of additional services. So yeah, the price is we're currently iterating over a lot of things to know if we are doing things right, and the price is definitely one of those things. So yeah, we will try to find the best price that allow us to scale and allow users to have value at the best price.
You have any plan to develop an IGI in the future?
To develop what? Sorry.
AGI
Can
from
you
Joseph in
show
chat.
me
It's a question from Joseph in chat section.
Yeah, sorry. No, we don't plan to work on our own LLM or even an AGI, but what I plan to allow people to do is to allow them to use AGI or agent. And yesterday there was a very big announce in this domain as Super AGI. I think it's Super AGI launch the first SDK to create and control agents. So it's not really an AGI, but what I want to do is to allow people to create an agent on the go. It's an answer that is going in this way, but we will not develop our own AGI as it's very challenging and need a lot of fund and a lot of competence that we have not currently in the team.
I don't see any other questions, so don't hesitate if you have one. You can. I will send you an email today with some information and with the coupon, the reduction coupon. And if you have any question, you can answer to the email, and we will be delighted to answer you.
Yeah, don't hesitate. I will be happy to help on LinkedIn, on Discord, on everywhere. Twitter, if you are on Twitter. Thank you very much to be there.
Have a good day.
Have a nice day and a nice weekend. See you.
Bye.
Bye.